Hello to my fellow colleagues and also to prospective students. We're so excited that you took time to come out on this call and kind of get yourself acquainted with the process, as well as get to meet some of us. My name is Sukhada Gokhale. I teach in the film program. I'm a lecturer. I will be offering a course in Barcelona in the summer B program called Cinema Survey. It's a general GEP type course, which means anyone on campus can take it. You don't have to be a film major. I love this course. It's sort of been a popular one over the past few years that I've taught it, over 400 plus students taking it every semester. It's a great course because it not only offers an insight into how movies and films that we all consume are put together, but it also helps us go a little bit deeper in sort of understanding the meaning of images, the potency of images. You know, film can be used in so many different ways, entertainment being just one part of it. I also am looking forward to this course in Barcelona because, like I said, I usually teach a large online asynchronous class, and I'm not always able to do a lot of the hands-on parts of this class that can make it very exciting. So I'm excited to travel with a group of 20 students and offer a very different UCF experience of smaller, more engaged classroom, where we will not only study and watch films, but we'll also get time to experiment, you know, hands-on little exercises in acting and animation and, you know, what is it like to do editing? It's in a very basic way, it's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together if you've done that as a kid. So, you know, having fun with taking these otherwise theoretical concepts and putting them into practice is something I'd love to explore. I love what Oliver explained, that there'll also be a local immersion possibility with all these educational topics that we're going to talk about. So possibly bring a Catalonian filmmaker or a film production crew or visit a film festival. Barcelona is famous for having multiple film festivals, as well as when I talked to the contact person there, she informed me that we have film shoots going on random weekdays around the corner. So I was like, wow, I've not lived in a city where that happens that often. So, you know, walking to class, we might find a production that we can stop in and see sort of how they put films together. So the potential of the local and cultural immersion with a class like this is also something that I'm very excited for me and my students to experience. So lastly, but not the least, if you are inclined or if this interests you, I'm going to put the description of the class as well as my email into the chat here. I would love to ask you to, you know, just shoot me an email, even if you don't know quite sure yet if you would sign up. I would love to chat with you and give you more information one-on-one. So feel free to get in touch, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in Barcelona. Thanks.
Amazing. So I will be offering fundamentals of interactive design in Summer B in Costa Rica. And this is essentially a class about it's a very conceptual class, but it will also have a hands-on section at the end. So we will be talking a lot about human-computer interaction, digital interfaces, and interactive storytelling. And I think interactive storytelling is actually very important for students from all backgrounds to kind of talk about their work, their field, and whatnot. Although most of these will be conceptual, at the end we are also going to do some basic applied work about websites, maybe application design, and whatnot. And finally, because this is happening in Costa Rica, this version of the class will also include some additional content about cultural informatics, which is how different cultures interact with information systems, or how different cultures create or need different information systems. So my email is on the screen, but I will put it in the chat. And it's a nice class, fun class. And if you are interested in, let's say, going into fields around technology and user interaction and whatnot, I think it will be very beneficial for you. And the extra activities we will do in Costa Rica, we'll be visiting some local agencies, like digital agencies, advertisement agencies, places that make apps and game companies, also to learn about, how about their processes, but also about some local nuance at how different producers approach their audience. So that's about it. I will again write my email in the chat, but you can see my name, website, and email also on your screen. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you.
So my name's Dr. David Morton, and I will be the lead instructor for History of Motion Pictures for the Costa Rica Summer A session. And this is one I'm very excited to be doing a deep dive into for a number of reasons. I've had quite a bit of an extensive study abroad background, both as a student and as a member of support staff. This is my first time actually teaching a class directly on the ground for an entire session. Just a little bit about myself, first and foremost. I've been a knight for over 13 years. I first came down here in 2011 to get my master's degree in public history. I got it in 2014, and I stayed on then to get my PhD right here at UCF as well. Since then, I've also been a member of both the history department faculty. You may see my name pop up, especially for the AMH section classes from time to time. I teach very large classes, typically, either anywhere between three, sometimes 450 students in a single room, or I also teach classes virtually with equal numbers. So the other thing I'm very excited about with this opportunity is to take a class that I normally teach to such a large audience and make it a lot more intimate, make it a lot more personal, and really help to make it your own as much as possible. I've basically taught at every single college in Central Florida at this point, in a variety of different capacities. So I'm a jack of all trades and master of them all. And this is what's going to make me very excited about guiding you through this pretty interesting and unique opportunity. A little bit about my history motion pictures class. I first joined the UCF film faculty back in 2022. And at the time, the class, and actually up until, well, this current iteration that we're going to have in the summer of 2025, the class has been exclusively online and built around a series of very carefully curated modules that I've developed over the history of film more broadly. Um, Basically, my goal in the class is to tell the story of the process of the invention of the motion picture, all the different questions surrounding how the industry itself emerged, and then taking a very strong global focus. And this is really where, especially this course being elsewhere, is going to be perhaps the most compelling. And then from there, we're going to try to get as close to the present day as possible. Beyond that, then too, a couple other overall goals. Beyond just giving sort of a baseline of major movements and moments in the development of the motion picture industry, we're also going to be looking at exactly the questions surrounding how entertainment industries themselves emerge in particular regions and places in the world. Central America has, in my opinion, one of the most slept on communities of creative filmmakers and independent storytellers at our current beck and call. Perhaps most importantly, too, a country like Costa Rica is both a country of very passionate moviegoers, and San Jose itself has 4 really wonderful movie theaters spread out across the entire city. We'll very likely end up doing at least one field trip in the semester where we'll actually get to go to the movies together instead of just doing a in-classroom screening. But beyond that, then too, just a couple other just technical details. The text that I'm using is one that I've actually had a chance to collaborate with the author on, not on the process of the text or the documentary project, but I've reached out to the author who very graciously provided me materials and resources when it came to building this course. Mark Cousins is probably one of the most creative film historians I've ever encountered. He is also one of the most passionate advocates for decentering the more traditional approach to film history, which mostly looks at Hollywood, which mostly looks at the United States, and mostly looks at this like very small sliver of world cinema. And instead, he tells the entire story in ways that even shock and awe me. And I'm sure will open you up to so many different filmmakers, storytellers, and ideas for your own edification. The other thing that we'll be doing in the class, of course, is trying to build community inroads as much as we are learning about the history of motion pictures. So my goal is to try to bring, as with Suku, who had shared her project on Barcelona previously, to try to bring in locally based filmmakers to come and talk about their experiences of working in Costa Rica, what their goals are, and perhaps also talk about some of the challenges that go into Costa Rican filmmaking. And of course, at this point, too, you might be thinking Costa Rica has a film industry, and boy, are you in for something. This is just a very short trailer from the Costa Rica International Film Festival, which the schedule hasn't yet been finalized, and I've been talking to the festival organizers, may actually end up occurring likely in the final week that we are in Costa Rica for the summer A session. But here you can get like a little taste of what Costa Rican cinema looks like. So as you've already gotten a sense of, it's a multitude of different varieties, styles, and aesthetics. The other goal, of course, then is to try to bring in professional filmmakers. One I've been in close contact with is Antonella Sudasi Furnace, whose Memorias de un Cuerpo que Arde is currently under consideration for the shortlist for Best International Feature in the Academy Awards. Made a big splash at Cannes. It also was a favorite at the Berlin International Film Festival. So this is a industry that is starting to break open, and you coming to Costa Rica at this moment in time, you'll be in a place with a lot of excitement in the air. This is just like a small glimpse of what location-based filmmaking in Costa Rica looks like as well. And my goal too is to try to get to an active film set. There are about 4 or 5 different production studios based pretty close to Veritas, where you'll be based during your summer abroad semester. Once I get the thumbs up and permission, we'll be able to try to make plans to actually go see a live film shoot on location. Lastly, other ideas for field trips, as I mentioned, going to the movies, getting involved in the local film community, perhaps even also just going to landmark locations in Costa Rica to get a bit of a snapshot of what basically the Costa Rican film world looks like. A couple other just short things. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong link there. I just wanted to actually let the filmmakers themselves briefly describe their own perspective on what makes Costa Rica unique. So, Paz Fabrega, movie Viaje, came out in 2015. Really was one of the first films in more recent years to help put a spotlight on Costa Rica's very burgeoning independent film scene. She likely too could be a guest star in one of our lectures. And well, I want her to actually just very briefly explain a little bit about what makes Costa Rican cinema so unique and so interesting.
Como que veníamos diciendo que tal vez uno debería tener hijos con alguien que quiera tener hijos, pero que no necesariamente sea tu pareja, como un amigo o como tener un acuerdo con alguien, algo así. Y entonces al taxista no le pareció tan buena idea. Hola, soy Paz Fábrega y vamos camino al estreno mundial de mi película Viaje en el Festival de Tribeca, aquí en Nueva York. It's always tricky to talk about whether it's very, very hard or more difficult to make films in Costa Rica than in a country with a more established film industry, because it seems to be equally hard. I feel that in Costa Rica, at least there's a chance, because everybody's an independent filmmaker. You don't feel tempted to spend sort of a big part of your career trying to get into this big industry or something. That's something that I see happens here in the States and in Europe, that people spend a lot of time sort of doing that, thinking that later you're going to make the films you really want to make. And I'm not sure it works that way.
And especially if you are either a member of the film department or even an aspiring storyteller, this is really where you're going to get that kind of inspiration. One thing UCF Film constantly advocates is getting out there and shooting your own story and having your own story told. And, don't wait around to break into the industry. Go out there and do it. And that is the Costa Rican mindset. And it's one that I really do hope that you be able to take with you over the course of this experience. So that's my overall pitch for this class. A lot more definitely to unpack, but I would love to see you all if you choose to join, and I'll make sure to share my information in the chat. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me here. And I would like to talk about my class, a little bit about myself. My name is Renata Kolodziej-Smith, and I will be teaching intercultural communication in Barcelona, summer B. A little bit about myself. I earned my PhD. I have earned my PhD degree from Wayne State University in Detroit, Michigan, in 2016. And since that time, I have been teaching at UCF, actually a little bit earlier than before I finished, since 2015, so it's almost 10 years. And my area of specialty is organizational communication and intercultural communication. Intercultural communication class is my favorite class to teach because it combines my personal experiences as an immigrant in this country, culture, intercultural observation, and it combines my observation, research, theories, and I believe it's a perfect, actually, pick to learn and teach about intercultural communication concept abroad. So I have always dreamt about teaching this class abroad. And whenever I started this class, and I am teaching this class this semester as well, I always say, I wish I could take you all to the abroad location so we can talk about so many intercultural communication concepts like verbal, nonverbal behavior, and observe them on the streets and outside the classroom. And now it is happening. So My class will include several trips outside the classroom. We will visit cemetery. We will visit historical campus of University of Barcelona. We will observe people on the street, restaurant, coffee shops. I am also planning on some professional in communication area from Barcelona to talk to us. So a lot of exciting opportunities, and assignments includes observation reports. So I'm hoping to have a very hands-on, almost like a workshop type of atmosphere and the mode of the class. I work and cooperate with University of Barcelona faculty as well, who are cooperating with UCF, and I hope to prepare a very, very good and interesting, exciting class. So hope to see you in Barcelona. I'm going to put my email address in chat as well. And if you have any question, please email me. I will gladly respond. And once again, thank you for having me here.